Hey everybody, hope you're doing well. I have a long ago promised video with a little bit of backing chord to hear some context for some outside sounds on the blues and just a little bit of my philosophy on it. So as of late, I've been practicing phrasing a lot more, giving a lot more space, trying to give some breathing room, right, inside of soloing. I have been using still the altered scale a lot. So I have an altered scale lick here for you guys today into a Lydian dominant lick to use. So I'm in the key of G, G blues, but I'm thinking a G blues, kind of slower blues. When I'm thinking of soloing, I've got my one chord is G7, four chords, C7. I'm keeping very melodic there, right? First three bars. Then when I get to this fourth bar, I'm hearing it more of an altered chord going into that C. 2 bars of C, right? Settling it on the C, and then going with my Lydian dominant lick on the C. So it sounds something like this. All right, so I'm going to look at the 12-bar blues. So if we look at the 12-bar blues, we've got 4 bars at the top, 1 of G7, C7, then 2 bars of G7. So that's our first 4 bars. Our second 4 bars is C7, C7, and then 2 more bars of G7. So just looking at the top of that for today. What I'm looking at when I'm hearing those G7 to C7 at the very top, kind of stating tonality, right? I'm kind of setting a motif maybe. I'm setting a little bit of context for what I'm going to play. That third bar going back to G7, I'm still kind of staying inside the key. I'm not really pushing anything. When I get to that fourth bar of G7, I'm thinking ahead, right? So in music, we're thinking ahead a lot of times when we're improvising to what's coming next. And so that G7 is the 5 chord of the C7, right? Even though in this case we're in G, it's a 1 to 4, right? It also leads very strongly to that 4 chord. So the C7 there, I can play, go into that C7, I can play an altered scale, a G altered scale, to really lead into that C7 and land on it strong. So it's going to sound like this lick right here. This lick is it. And I sometimes kind of, you can spice it up and add extra notes if you want to, but I'm starting here on the 6th fret on the 1st string, sliding up to 7, 3rd fret on the 1st string, and I'm doing a pull off from 4 to 3 on both the 2nd string and the 3rd string, and then going 6, 5 on the 4th string. So one more time slow. It's outlining this chord, right? So from there, I'm landing on C7, right? So you're going to see me play something similar to this. And I may go from here. Right? So I've got this right here, which is my shape of my C7 chord, right? I build a lot of things out of the chord shape. One more time. Then over the C7 chord, the 2nd bar of C7, I'm going to play my Lydian dominant lick, right? Once again. So that starts here on the 5th fret. No, sorry, 3rd fret, 5th string. Get it right? And the 4th fret of the 4th string, 5th fret, the 5th string. Back up to that 4th fret, 4th string. 3rd fret on the 3rd string. 5th fret on the 3rd string. 3rd fret, 2nd string. 5th fret on the 2nd string. Then I'm kind of bending that up. first string, 3rd fret there. And I'm landing on that 5th fret of the 4th string. So let's hear that in context. Here we go. Here's the lick. Next lick. So we can mess with the timing on that a lot, right? We could play that Lydian dominant lick a lot faster. I'm trying to keep things slow, but right, we can play it a lot faster. It lends itself to going a little quicker. Right, so it mixes the lick up a little bit, even just from playing it faster, starting on a different beat inside the measure. But ultimately, that's really, really easy way to keep things fresh, sounding a little outside, right, without going too crazy. That first lick, you can even speed that up. Right, just keep that going. So let's try that again. Here we go. All right, goes the lick. Right, so I've got that sound relatively the same, but also a little different. I can vary it depending on how I'm feeling, tempo of the blues that I'm playing. And we can go more in depth on this, but that gives you 2 quick licks to look at. I'll also add a link to those in the description, free PDF, where it's gonna have it in tab. But that lick, right? So you can hear that chord relationship. And then the last one. Right? You can vary these every time, right? So whatever little, things you may have picked up from, whether it be John Mayer, Stevie Ray Vaughan, or any other blues player, you can add those at the end, this little flair, little flourishes, and that gives you kind of your own signature and your own way of playing things. So try these out next time you're starting over a blues. Just to finish out my thought process, if I'm playing something that kind of outside on both the 1 chord and the 4 chord, my general mentality is I'm going to keep the 5 chord when we get to that chord, keeping it relatively inside the key. I may play some cool lick over top of it, but I'm going to really keep it. And I may just add that kind of sharp 4 from the Lydian thing over the 4 at the end. But I really try to keep my moments, or I try to choose my moments of going outside very carefully. I don't want to overdo it, don't want to overuse it, because then it kind of loses its value, right? It kind of loses the wow factor. So hope this helped, hope this made sense. Like I said, follow the link below, you'll get the free PDF, and definitely let me know if you want to hear anything else. I think coming up I'm going to do a little series on triads, and we'll look at how to use triads, especially for those of you guys playing in church on Sunday mornings. I want to talk about some different triad shapes and how to practice those, and they really helped my playing. So anyway, more to come on that. Like, subscribe, comment, let me know what you liked, what you didn't like, and I'll talk to you guys soon.